The ideas, they come sometimes from dreams or from bad things.
As you can see, there's a beautiful certificate of authenticity. And if you look, these are all original signature illustrated pieces from Giger himself, with this very, very faint photograph of this quasi-sculptural infant head motif behind it. And here we go. H.R. Giger's Necronomicon Volumes 1 and 2. You can see 666 limited edition. This is the 1992 edition. Gorgeous, alternating between matte black and gloss black. You can see how reflective the gloss is. And an introduction by Clive Barker. If you know Clive Barker, also deeply involved in film. Clive Barker from Hellraiser and Nightbreed acclaim. Also a great comic book illustrator in addition to writer. What's nice about the book is that it gives us this biography of Giger, obviously talking at length about the involvement with Alien, which is a popular work that he's most known for, creating the alien creature in the Alien series. But his work as a surrealist painter really comes to the forefront here in the Necronomicon. These are conceptual illustrations of some of his installations. His house in Switzerland has many sculptural elements, including a railway, miniature railway, all done in this signature sort of techno-Gothic surrealist style. It's also known for collaborating with Blondie's Debbie Harry on music video work, which he directed. This is something you don't typically see unless you've seen his work in person or gotten your hands on some of these books, but the richness of color that he chooses to use. We often see his work as black and white, but really these beautiful neon types of color washes are just astounding to look at. The way that he renders light and rust and decay. Again, looking through the entire work, you see about his process, you see the airbrush and how the work is tied to the medium. We will skip ahead to this section called The Spell. And this is where the real nature of Giger comes to shine. This is the blending of conscious and subconscious material anatomy and esoteric symbolism kind of converges into this almost like an elegant slaughterhouse of imagery and distortions of the human form. His work has inspired other artists like the video game Scorn and countless imitators. This is a very famous illustration if you have been following the recent developments in Marvel Comics and Alien. You know that some of these connections between these illustrations and designs for things that were featured in Alien Covenant and subsequent comic book work. This explains the idea behind biomechanism. But really, this beautiful book connects his ideas of the grotesque with this very distinct sense of humor. We move ahead to Dune, Harkonnen Castle. Now, this is when he was working on Jodorowsky's Dune, the Dune that was never realized. And this version of Dune is where Dan O'Bannon and H.R. Giger met when he was doing concept illustrations. Jodorowsky referred to Giger's illustrations as an ill art. He referred to them as something grotesque. But he also greatly admired the work for certain purposes, like realizing the world of the Harkonnens from Dune. The Baron Harkonnen was to be played by the late Orson Welles. If we talk about the environments of Giger, we can discuss locations like Giger Bar and other sculptural installations. A lot of Giger's work lends itself to a certain dimensionality that other surrealist paintings may not. He's actually very much in the style of kind of Salvador Dali or Hieronymus Bosch, if you look at his classical influences. Even though Dali was only separated in time from him by perhaps a generation. And here, of course, is the man himself, standing next to certain sculptural elements. We move into the second part of the book, Necronomicon II. This, of course, is one of the famous Giger chairs. These were on display in the various Giger bars throughout the world. Moving forward again. We see, again, this use of brilliant pastel-like color. His own sort of mummified visage. In this section of the work, his thoughts on internal processes like childbirth start to become more prominent in the work he displays. Masking of the face. These, of course, being connected to various projects that he's done over the years. Moving forward. And here is the man himself, looking out over an installation of his work of physical representation, these beautiful and beautifully realized sculptural installations which Giger was known for, but may not have been popularly realized for. Yes. And this has been Necronomicon Parts 1 and 2, limited edition. It's part of the family library. It's a cherished piece. Thank you all for joining me. I'm Decker, the Phantom Astronaut. and I will see you out there.